It is that time of year again. The Drake Bulldogs back on the ice for their season opener here against the Kansas Jayhawks. I am Tyler French, coming live here on Pardon My French Media. Alongside me today is 2024 alum and former Drake goaltender Wyatt Madsen, and we are excited to kick off another season of Drake hockey.
Great to be here. We're so excited, man. I mean, it's great to see Drake back on the ice. Have a big roster here, great crowd. It's amazing to see.
As the I'm used to doing Norwalk. We got Norwalk football going on tonight. Make sure to check out that link shared on our Facebook page as well. As the starting lineup for Drake tonight is going to be in net is the junior Carter Osgood. A couple of big scorers on that front first line. And Ian Alticrew is back from injury. Great to have him back. He was hurt in this game against Kansas on the road last year. Joining him is senior Parker Peterson, the local kid Charles Brownell, along with Everett Bridgman. As the lineup about to get announced. Excuse me, it's Davis By. It's 22, not 23. My eyes are getting old in my old age. Charles Brownell, Ian Alticrew, Parker Peterson with the defenseman Davis By and Matthew Garcia. Carter Osgood in net. Garcia, a freshman last year, a huge pickup for this team. Also a great singer as well. And then looking at the starting lineup for the visiting Kansas Jayhawks in net, it will be number 29, Ben Olson. And the other starters, number 24, John Feeney, number 7, Brett Sidons, number 19. In defense is Blake Hearn, number 22, Zach Roberts.
You stand and remove your caps.
As that will be the opening 5 for the visiting Kansas Jayhawks. We'll take a short break for the national anthem as Matthew Garcia will be taking us through that. And we are officially underway here as Kansas comes away with the first win. Sidons on the win for the Jayhawks to get things started. Goes over to By, over in the far corner. Pass down, gets away, and back into the defensive zone. Picked up there by Roberts. Roberts gets the pass back, moves it to the near side, dumped right back into the middle. A little give and go action here between Feeney and Sedons. Mentioned before, in net is Carter Osgood. 3 goalkeepers this year for the Dogs, just like last year, where they were able to roll with Dom Cook along with the freshman at the time, Cole Jackson, and Mr. Osgood. Dom Cook graduating this past year. He is replaced by Brody Madigan, the former Bogie Mammoth and 3-time state champion. This one dumped off for Peterson, fires it on, goes wide right. This one going to get all the way down ice, giving chase back will be Matthew Garcia, and that will be an icing call. Going to try and keep the clock as accurate as possible. It's something that can slip a little bit, so we will try to keep that going for you as best we can. Off the faceoff, puck comes back around. It is flipped to the near side. Fisher waiting as the outlet, and it's picked up by Sedons, bringing it into the neutral zone. Drake with an all-time high amount of players this year has Owen DeCrow, one of their incoming freshmen, was trying to get it out of the zone. It goes and a shot comes in on the near side by Hearn.
Ooh,
big. As that one is laid on the other freshman, Bladen Wolver, an early welcome to college moment, and he's good. Osgood with a big early stop for Drake, remains 0-0.
Kansas is known for their physicality out here. I mean, it's crazy how physical they can get, how fast the tables can turn on it.
This one taken away right at the blue line by Vaughn. Putting up against the boards, it is Aguilar, another returner from last year's team. A guy that can play kind of all around the ice, has a lot of speed at either the center or forward spot, but he can get after it with some defensive tenacity as well. John-Luke Schulenberger moves this one up to Aiden McGee. As you're going to see a lot of freshmen playing this year for Drake, a huge recruiting class for Coach Henderson and the Bulldogs. This one comes out of the zone, giving chase back. For it is number 10. That is Luke Nessa. And there's going to be an offsides call here. Stop the clock with 17:38 remaining here in the first period.
It's all of Drake's new incoming freshmen. I'm excited to see how physical they're going to be this year. You know, the last few years you had it so low. You had people that were scared to be physical because we didn't want to get hurt, you know, and lose those players for the next game.
This one in the neutral zone. Goes back and giving chase for Kansas is Zaidas. Shot goes wide left, coming off the stick on the near side from Landis. Sidakis moving this puck forward, has able to get it into the forward zone. Willington trying to come in for the Jayhawks. Trying for a tip. Willington goes back behind net. Comes around the boards, picked up by Everett Bridgman. Bridgman at times had a rough go with it for Drake last year, but then 4 goals in the final weekend against Wheaton as this one flipped up and over by Willington. Couldn't get a clean shot off as Drake matching the physicality here early on. Connor Norman.
Oh, good spot there.
A little bit of shoving after the whistle. .16:33 left here in the first period. Puck comes over to the near side. Picked up by Roberts again. Brownell trying to push the issue down the near side. Has it poked away. Brought back in the offensive zone, this time by Shrew. And a good poke away in front of net, this time by Bai. First game of the season for both these teams as Drake finished on a hot note, winning 3 of their last 4, including that weekend sweep on the final 2 games against Wheaton. Alta Cruz Mentioned before, great to have him back after missing most of the second half of last season due to injury. Drake with 18 skaters this year and 3 goalies. At times last year, lucky to have 9 or 10 skaters. So double the available players in that situation. As Brownell trying to give chase, but it has picked up a big check on the far side as well. Krugel, the first one to it, back for Kansas. 5 minutes in, no penalties on either side so far. And as I say that, we are going to have our first whistle. This one will go against number 28. That is Nick Callahan. And that'll be a 2-minute, I believe. Comes with 15:19 left in the first period, and Drake is on a power play.
Excited to see the new power play out of Drake this year. How much it's changed from last year and the years I even was there.
Some early season miscommunication of who was going to take the faceoff. It is taken by McGee, and it'll be immediately frozen. So they will line it up again as Sedon's handling it for the Jayhawks. Good clearance, getting it all the way down ice. It'll go back to Fisher. Chance here as it's picked up by Wolver. Wolver last year for the Des Moines player. It's an 8-goal game for Des Moines, the leading goal scorer the last 2 seasons in the Des Moines High School Hockey League. He is one of 5 players coming out of that league on this year's team, including the returner Everett Bridgman. Brody Madigan and Eli Soroyce, also part of the Des Moines Youth Hockey Association. Eli coming from the Iowa City Junior Heartlanders, and Brody Madigan, after a year away from Iowa, comes back to the land of corn and pigs. Brought down by push forward, and by looking to try and get a pass off. Comes in, shot. Comes off the stick of McGee, and now a breakaway chance back the other way. Shorthanded, under a minute left on the power play. Puck was controlled by Feeney. He'll dump it off to waste some more time, down to 50 seconds on the power play. This one fired right back. Osgood will not freeze it. 5th shot on goal so far for Kansas. I apologize. There are some discrepancies with the clock. I believe it is just due to the Wi-Fi here. But currently there is still 25 seconds left on the power play.
Oh.
And a great deke move leads to the goal. A shorthanded one for Rowan Vaughn. That will give KU a 1-0 lead with 13:39 left here in the first period. 22 seconds remain on the power play chance for Drake.
By number 21.
Rowan Vaughn, number 21, scores the first goal of the game. This one will be frozen by Osgood.
Beautiful glove. Carter's such a great goalie and just an overall great guy. Being a goalie tandem with him was probably my favorite part playing for the team. Great handshakes all around for him. I love that guy.
Team has changed quite a bit since you graduated a couple years ago, as this team, I believe, is double the amount of players since then.
Yeah, it's incredible to see. You can tell these guys are giving it their all out there. You know, when we played out there, it was you go out there for your 30-second shift and pray there's somebody on the bench to replace you. Always felt bad for the skaters out there, man. I mean, they gave it their all, and it was great hockey.
Brownell trying to fight off the defender, as Roberts riding him hard into the boards. Puck comes back around. Shot attempt here, tipped back. Shot came from Garcia. And now another breakaway chance, looking to go 2-on-1. Puck brought down on the near side by Hearn. Dumped it off in the middle, trying to go back to Hearn on a give and go. 12:40 left here in the first period. And they will stop play and reset with 12:36 left in the first.
Awesome to see Ian back out on the ice after that big injury happening against Kansas themselves. You think he's probably got something out there for him. Probably wants to get a few in.
Aguilar can't win the faceoff for Drake. Puck comes all the way back down as Kansas looking for another offensive opportunity. Schellenberger has it taken away. Schellenberger, another local kid. He and Kinnick Sager coming from the Des Moines Pirates. Won a couple of league championships during their sophomore and junior year. Turn, fire.
Save.
Vaughn was looking for his second goal of the game. Carter Osgood, we're used to seeing him in net, but we actually got to see him skate out against Wheaton in the last weekend of the year. Ended up scoring a goal. And I know that among the graduating class from this past year, there was a lot of trash talking for Sean Summerness, who did not score during that weekend, but everyone else scored at least once last season, including Carter Osgood.
Shout out Carter for getting a goal out there. You almost want to say it's a goalie goal. And I remember him texting me about borrowing my equipment. So, not to say it's in the equipment, but great goal out there by Carter. Great goaling by him. Amazing guy.
That was a fun weekend where, even with the small roster size on both ends, each team had a great weekend. Drake ended up getting a couple, they're not necessarily you don't want to call them moral victories, but at the same time, it's a great thing to be able to get a victory like that as a breakaway chance coming right here. Coming down and can't get a clean shot off. That was a first look at Kinnick Sager for Drake. Sager, another really strong goal scorer as he's trying to apply some pressure up front along with Connor Norman, his classmate. Sager checked hard into the boards. We've seen a couple of big hits on these freshmen early on, Sager and Wolver. Two of the better players the last couple of years in the Des Moines High School Hockey League, but they are now learning that hockey in the college level is a little bit different.
Yeah, your college hitting's a little bit harder than your when you have your high school hitting out there in the Des Moines League. It's crazy the difference between the two, and it's only a few months difference for these kids.
Osgood freezes the puck. Goal is waved off, so it will remain a 1-0 with 10:34 left here in the first period. Face-off on the far side. It'll be handled by Shrew, as he will win the face-off against Peterson. Peterson, arguably the top returning player from Drake's squad last year. It'd be probably between him, Brownell, or Altacruz, the three most experienced, as a shot from straight on is scored by Krugel, and that makes it 2-0 in favor of Kansas with 20:22 left in the period.
It's tough for a goalie when you just can't see the puck like that. I mean, Kansas is doing great at just crowding that paint in front of the goalie, just making sure Carter can't see a thing. And it's really hard when you have that little black disc coming right at you.
I think one of the biggest things we've seen as well for this Drake program, obviously the strength in numbers has improved quite a bit over these last 2-3 years, but I think it has been the student and just general love of this program that has been really fun to see.
Yeah, I didn't see a crowd this big when I played when we first started, so it's awesome. It's just how quickly this club has grown in popularity around the campus is awesome.
I know Coach Henderson has been really proud of that growth since he took over in about the middle, I think, of your senior year for Coach Wyden.
Yeah. We had Coach Wyden and Coach Henderson came in to relieve, and it was an amazing switch. Great coaches all around. Great mentors to have on the ice.
As that'll draw a icing call as they were trying to clear it down ice. 9:54 left in the period. Score 2-0 in favor of Kansas. Line change here as the Bulldogs will bring Owen DeCrow and along with Dylan Fisher along the defensive. Looking to get a shot in on goal for DeCrow. Puck knocked around here. Can't get out of the neutral zone. Puck goes back to Fisher over to the far side, finding Brownell. Brownell gets his defender to fall. Couldn't get a clean look. Fisher with that quick wrister had it knocked down in front as they're trying to apply some pressure in on Olsen. As this crowd coming alive behind Drake. Off the rebound, they can't score as Alta Cruz had a look but couldn't get it off cleanly. Puck stopped and is frozen by Olsen. Good goalie work on both sides here early on.
Shout out to Dylan Fisher for becoming the new president of the club. He's done a great job growing the program with the shift and everything. You know, I worked with him over the summer and just being able to talk to him through it and hear everything that he's doing for the club has been amazing. Amazing job by him.
Puck over to the far side, comes back to that back line. Try to get a backhand in from DeCrow. Now coming down the near side, puck was controlled by Nessa, taken back by Drake, sent into the defensive zone. Owen DeCrow giving chase, able to keep it away from Sedons on the near side.
That earlier, just and Turner assistance by number 28.
Good passing by Kansas out here. Really keeping Drake on their toes.
Robertson Callahan giving the assist on that last goal scored by Krugel. Control back behind, trying to dump it in front, and another nice save. This one off a shot from Feeney. Clock stops, 8:32 left in the period. As looks like Drake will go a man down. Can't quite see the number from here. As it'll be a 2-minute power play chance for Kansas.
Drake will be on number 16.
It is Aiden McGee, the freshman, called for the penalty.
2 minutes for Ottawa.
As Drake down 2-0 here in the first period, trying to keep it at that score as Osgood can't keep it out. A 5-hole from Hudson Huber puts the Jayhawks up 3-0.
Kansas just doing an amazing job at keeping Drake on their back foot the whole time. You can see the passing by Kansas is just incredible. I'd love to know what year Kansas's guys are. I would love to know how long they've played together because it just looks seamless for these guys to pass from passing the puck. And Drake having such a big switch from, you know, coming in with a bunch of seniors to all these freshmen. They're not used to playing with each other. You know, getting that groove in, it just takes a while.
Hudson Huber, assisted by number 19.
Puck deflected off of Alta Cruz's stick. Drake back at full strength after the power play goal.
Blake.
Now a power play and shorthanded goal here in the first period for the Jayhawks. Peterson trying to turn and fire, goes wide left of the goal. Olsen lost sight of it for a second. Arguably Drake's best offensive front line with Brownell, Peterson, and Alta Cruz in. Some big graduations from this past year, including Jimmy Fiaschi, Dom Cook, and Paxton Reading, just to name a few. Reading, arguably the biggest loss there. A great goal scorer for this team. Off the rebound, a good defensive play made that time by Jackson Fisher to keep Drake scoreless. Peterson trying to play it off the boards back. And a good pump ahead. This time it's Willington going in and kind of buried himself. A great angle taken on that one by Osgood. Approaching the last couple of minutes here in the first period. Drake trailing 3-0 as the Jayhawks have been in control early on. Faceoff taken by Elbs. by Kansas. Goes around, picked up by number 25. As Callahan lose possession of it, comes to the near side. Drake trying to get it out of the zone. This time brought forward by Connor Norman. Trying to go into the middle, just out of reach, as they were trying to get it to Eli Sorois.
Getting a little extracurriculars in on the sidelines. Oh, that one got caught.
As that's going to end up as a double penalty, as Kinnick Sager was not happy with the extra pushing. So a penalty will be issued to Callahan and well as one to Kinnick Sager. So we should have 4-on-4 action here for the next 2 minutes.
4-on-4 is probably the best hockey to be played. So much open ice, so much time on everybody's hands. You get to really see what these young men are capable of on the ice. It's amazing to watch. I love it.
It feels like sometimes that it just kind of opens up the offense a little bit as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you have so much room to work with. I mean, the ice just feels that much bigger when you only have 4 people out there. You want to take the shifts quick. You want to take them hard. It's amazing to watch these young men, just how fast they are on the ice is insane. You know, the camera sometimes makes them look slow, but when you're out there with them, oh man.
It's got to be nice for a goalie too, because it's one less person on each side that you got to worry about screening you.
Yeah, you know, it is a double-edged sword. You have a lot of ice to watch, but it sucks when they get that pass back and forth and you're moving back and forth and you get tired and then they catch you off, and it happened to me a lot. So
Sager, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
So an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Sager. It's a great play made here. Peterson one-on-one, can't get it past Olsen, who gets that shoulder guard out there for the stop. I think 6 minutes left here in the first period. Puck brought across by Bullard. Try to dump it off to the near side.
pretty good hit there by 16 for Drake. Holy cow.
As that one coming from Aiden McGee, and it looks like it's going to draw another whistle. So it'll be 4-on-3 action now. 1:16 left on the penalties. And McGee will sit for 2 minutes, I believe probably for roughing.
Yeah, he went pretty high with that elbow. I would be impressed to see. It'd either be roughing or elbowing. I'm interested to see what the call will be here. Either way, he's serving 2.
So 4-on-3, not numbers you see very often.
No, it's going to be a lot of ice. This is where the boys are going to have to dig deep and see what we can get done.
Drake's line includes Fisher along with Peterson and DeCrow out there. Puck pass back as goes to Nessa. Comes back over to him. Moves it to the captain, Sedons. Sedons taken to the far side. Back to Nessa. Shot goes wide left. 12 shots on goal in the first period for Kansas, 8 for Drake. Good deflection here by Fisher.
You're going to see them start out wide. Usually they'll come down to a side and they'll line up all your white jerseys, and that's when you'll get a shot off. They're always just looking for that shot, right? Great stop.
Looking for a quick deflection there for Bullard. 36 seconds left on the double penalty. 1:19 left overall on the power play for Kansas. I want to thank everyone tuning in from both the Kansas and Drake fan bases for today's game. It's the season opener for Drake here at home. One of, I believe, 22 games on the schedule, 14 of which will be here at home. We'll be trying to cover as much of those games as possible, as long as they don't interfere with Norwalk athletics as well. Trying to bring you as much Drake hockey as we possibly can. Join us, make sure, tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. for the second game of this series here at home.
Shout out to Kansas's home arena. Absolutely electric place to play in.
If there's one thing Kansas does well, it's sports.
Yes, it is. I love
unless it's football.
Love Kansas sports. The basketball is great to watch. I love the home arena that this club team plays at. They have the lights. They have the sirens. It is so electric. I love the arena. Shout out Kansas.
Their basketball program was the main reason I went down there on a college visit back in the day. And I just happened to accidentally meet Bill Self while I was down there. And I'm like, where do I sign?
I have to sign those papers right away. You got to go there. You meet those big names. It's awesome.
We didn't realize it was him at first. We actually had gone into, they have a Pepper Jack's Grill down there that we went to, and saw a bunch of coaches come in, didn't really see. And my dad actually walked up to him and was like, so what team do you guys coach? My son's looking to go into sports meeting. He's like, oh, men's basketball. And he goes, are you Bill Self? So I have a picture with him, and then, like the little promotional logo they give you when going to college visit. I have that signed somewhere in our 35 bins of sports memorabilia.
Fantastic. That's just awesome.
First penalty done for both teams. 30 seconds left on the power play. Drake looking for a shorthand opportunity. Alta Cruz can't get the backhand to go. Off the rebound, trying to get a wraparound on the backhand again. Olsen able to recover and move to his left. Under 4 minutes left here in the period. Kansas in front 3-0. Drake 10 seconds away from being back at full strength. One more push from Fisher on the near side. On the power play chance. As Drake back at full strength, Sager comes out of the penalty box. As Osgood will stop another shot. 16 shots on goal here in the first period. But if there's one thing we've seen in all these years of Drake hockey, it's a lot of shots on goal. I'm sure you can have nightmares still to this day.
Yeah, I close my eyes and I just go back to Creighton, and I took 72 shots that game. Just scary. I feel for Cole Jackson when he took those 80 some shots. Oh, man.
Coach Henderson likes to say that the Nebraska head coach sees Cole Jackson in his nightmares. In Drake's big upset win last year here at home, 85 saves in, I believe, what ended up being a 4-3 win for Drake. Jimmy Fiashi with 2 huge goals in that game.
Shout out Jimmy, man. He had a heck of a shot. So much power behind that thing, and I have no idea how he did it.
If I remember correctly, I believe one of them really was like the goon goal where he just kind of bodied it in.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's a goal against a ranked team. You'll take it, especially when you get 2 of them.
That's right. They never ask you how. They only ask you how many. So Jimmy Fiashi, he's got it.
There's an old quote. I say old, it's like 15 years old, maybe a little bit older at this point, from Brian Scalabrine, the White Mamba.
Yes.
That he was a bench warmer on the Celtics 08 championship team. And he said, you guys know me as a bench warmer, but in 10 years, I was a rotation player. In 20 years, I started a couple games. In 30 years, I was a star. I still got that ring.
I love it.
Brian Scalabrine is one of my favorite sports media personalities.
A great personality. I always loved it watching Can You Beat Brian on the basketball court, just to show how different level it is.
I used to listen to NBA radio on the morning show on my way to work, and I can't remember who he hosted with, but it was always a good time. As the Crow brings this into the offensive zone, getting back to the sport we're actually covering today. Try to dump off into the middle by Wolver. No one there to collect the puck. And Sager able to lay a big hit. He said, I may be a freshman, but I brought the hitting stick with me today.
Sager's going for bodies out here.
Here's Elvis. This one deflected away by Osgood. 2 minutes left in the period. Trying to get that pass through over for Norman. He'll bring into the offensive zone. Norman, another one of the freshmen joining the team this year. Great pass up here. You've been talking a lot about the passing. Sidon's a great stop. One of the best plays we've seen from Osgood, maybe ever.
Yeah. Oh man. He's a great goalie. He's a great guy. When I first started, playing for Drake, he could do the splits, and I never was able to do the splits just quite as good as Carter can. Amazing to see him drop into it still, getting at his older age.
Big opportunity here for Drake. Controlled on the near side, brought down by Schollenberger. Tried to thread the needle to his former high school teammate, Kinnick Sager. As Henderson turns and puts this shot on. Aiden Henderson, the son of head coach Todd Henderson. If there's a hockey family here in the Des Moines area, it's hard to beat the Hendersons when you've got Sarah, who was the parent commissioner of the Des Moines High School Hockey League for a number of years. Both kids, Aiden and Ainsley, going through the program, and now both students at Drake as well. And Todd, former head coach of the Des Moines High School Pirates, and now the Drake Bulldog head coach as well. And all four members of the family heavily involved with the program.
Yes, very heavily. Sarah is a great, great woman, has done amazing things for the program, such as Todd.
This puck brought back behind by Bullard, looking to try and set up a pass. Cannon was setting up wide open near the blue line. They are unable to get the puck to him. Good deflection here in the offensive zone, but going to the ice to make the stop is Garcia. Can't say enough what he has brought as a, both as a defenseman and a national anthem singer, as we saw today.
He's got some pipes. That kid can sing. He does great songs at the bars. Love to watch him sing, man.
I believe he had a recent show at Paws and Pints.
Yes.
Over, actually just north of Norwalk. I think that is considered West Des Moines, but I don't really know where the city limits are anymore. But right off of Highway 28. This one deflected away in front of net. Down to 10 seconds left here in the first period. Drake trying to keep this a 3-0 game. Has a lot of fight here in the second half of the period for the Bulldogs. As this one will be flipped down ice, and that will do it here in the first. As we will take a break for intermission.
Take a quick intermission break. We're apologizing again tonight. We are having some technical difficulties.
3-0 as we begin play. As we will take a break and be back with the start of the second coming up here in a little bit. You're watching Drake Bulldog Hockey on Pardon My French Media. Back underway here at Able Ice Arena. A big first period for the Kansas Jayhawks, taking a 3-0 lead and trying to go right back after Decidons brings the puck down, gets checked into the boards and knocked away to Crow there defensively for Drake to begin the second period. And just to let you guys know, after the issues we were having with the clock, we just decided to take it off the scoreboard. So I'll be just giving you guys updates on how much time is left as this one put in close by Hearn. One-timer chance there. Elb's pass got delayed a little bit, knocked away. Picked up on the far side by Roberts. Comes back to Elbs, who will bring it back over. Roberts slap shot, no good. Goal scored in the first period. Rowan Vaughn got the first one started. A shorthanded shot from Thompson Krugel. And finally, the power play goal coming from Hudson Huber. Put Kansas up 3-0. A minute gone here in the first period, 18:55 on the clock. Altacruz trying to regain possession. Puck comes back to DeCrow. Good timing as Altacruz gets back into the neutral zone and avoids the offsides call. But it does go across the blue line immediately right after I say that. The old broadcaster's curse here on Pardon My French Media.
A little bit to watch from Drake. I'm excited to see how the second period goes. If we see our defensemen, we saw in the first period, a lot of the times they would be pulled up in the zone if you watch. And that opens up the bottom for Kansas to kind of eat down low. And I'm excited to see if that was addressed in the locker room or how we can see that evolve.
Oz got another nice stop, and it's also going to draw a penalty.
Yeah, you can't slap the goalie after you cover the puck. Nice to see them call that. I wish I could get that call a few more times back in my day. But you know what? They can't do that now, and it's nice to see a little goalie protection now.
It'll be a 2-minute penalty here for Huber. So Drake will get a power play chance as they try to work their way back in, down 3-0. 18:29 left here in the second period.
Great defensive tandem here in the backcourt by Dylan Fisher and Davis By, two of my favorite defensemen during my time being a goalie.
Oscar got another pair of shorthanded saves as Drake on the power play, but you would not expect that with a quick offensive burst from the Jayhawks. It'll come around again, picked up by Norman.
Kansas doing a great job out keeping it down in Drake's zone, not pushing too many people down low so you don't get caught and get an odd man rush, just playing that puck down low on Drake's side, wasting the time away. Great penalty kill.
Cannon a couple nice runs at the puck, and it picked up once again by Bullard, who was the one down in the offensive zone, causing some havoc. Comes to the near side. Drake trying to space out a little bit.
Good dump. Oh.
Two players getting tied up there. And I think that's going to be an interference call. And it'll be Aiden McGee heading back to the penalty box for the second time tonight. 17:28 left here in the period. 2 minutes on Drake's penalty, 59 seconds left on Kansas's.
It's a good call there. That was interference.
I know some of the hand signals, not a lot. I can tell you a lot more football hand signals.
There you go. It's basically the same.
So 4-on-4 action as the clock still has not started. So technically neither penalty has started either.
Great. Penalty number 16. 2 minutes per error shot.
Getting a little extra time here, it looks like. There they go.
So clock finally does start. 17:25 left here in the second period. 50 seconds left of 4-on-4 action. DeCrow getting over to it for Drake. And you can definitely see a little bit of the learning curve in action today for this freshman group.
These young guns, the seniority you have on Drake right now, just their knowledge and wisdom that they gave to me when I started, helped so much just in the next year that I played. So I'm so excited to see how these freshmen grow this year. it'll be so amazing to have these vets give it to your freshmen.
And, it'll be really interesting to see about, I don't know, 3 months from now or so. You come
Yes.
back in like January and to see where these players are at that point. You get more practices. I was talking during intermission that Coach Henderson's wife, Sarah, said that they've had maybe 4 practices so far, and you've got quite a few freshmen. 9 total freshmen on this year's program, which, if you think about it, is about as many healthy skaters as were on the ice last year total.
Yes. Oh, man.
As Kansas is back to full strength. Drake does a great job surviving the first wave. Try to get it tipped in. There was Vaughn looking for his second goal.
Good read there by Carter to see that puck clear. Defenseman making sure the zone is cleared out so that Carter can see it clearly. It's so big for goalies to be able to see that wide vision. So when they do shoot that puck.
Huber losing his footing and the puck in the process. Another one knocked away. Osgood, his 19th save of the game, making his 20th now. 3 goals allowed on 23 shots. As they continue to pepper the net. And you can see even just from the first period to second period, Drake looks a lot more comfortable together, as this is their first game playing as a team, and you bring in 9 freshmen, which obviously great for your numbers, but it's going to take a while for this team to gel. So, 3 goals in the first period isn't ideal, but the way they played in that second half brought a lot more intensity in those last 10 minutes compared to the first 10.
It could be so much worse. We have seen a lot out of Drake in the beginning periods of games. This is definitely a second half team, second and third period team, I believe. Just getting in their rhythm, making sure they're playing slow, getting used to each other. And then when you see the second period start, third period start, they're going to start meshing.
As puck is frozen, Drake back at full strength. Give a shout out, Paxton Reading, the former club president and team captain. Watching for today's game, says that he loves getting you on the mic.
Shout out Paxton, man. One of the best guys out there. Absolute. He's just so nasty with the puck. I mean, one of the best scorers I've ever seen in hockey.
Well, the scorer and a table setter. We saw that multiple games last year where he took a step back and let someone else get the goal, but picked up quite a few assists in the second half of last year, especially. As this one brought into the offensive zone by Landis. Dumped off, another save here. As Drake able to get it out of the zone, and a great bounce, so it'll avoid the icing call. 14:25 left in the period, still 3-0 in favor of Kansas. This puck deflected by Garcia. It'll be picked up on the far side this time by Zydakis. Brought into the neutral zone and down to the offensive zone by Fisher. Played off for Landis. Shot goes wide left of the net. Under 14 left in the second period. Another one deflected away by Osgood. Drake just one shot on goal here in the period. This one an easy deflection away by Olsen. Hasn't gotten tested much here in the second. Landis dumps the pass off for Wellington. Wellington lost possession of the puck. It goes over to the far side for Fisher. Fisher looking for a one-timer chance, but a little bit behind Wellington, and Drake recovers. Wolver and Sager into the offensive zone. Wolver, a great scorer, had quite a few 4-goal games with the Pirates, including last year. One of the craziest stat lines I've ever seen at any level of hockey, an 8-goal game.
Unreal. Oh, my gosh.
Plenty of talent in that wrist shot, and I think as he gets more comfortable and, gets a little bit stronger probably, as well as now in the college level of things, he is going to be an amazing player in this program. Also, extremely unselfish player, which is crazy to say about someone that led the league in goals back-to-back years and had an 8-goal game. 12:40 left in the second period. Kansas 3, Drake nothing so far.
Drake kind of playing on their heels a little bit, but making sure that defense is still stout when they are in their own zone. Right now we have it looks like our third line out. So we're going to get ready to see our first line come out with Ian and Parker and all those young boys out. So hopefully we can see some steam get built up here once those boys get back on the ice.
Yeah, ideally, if you're Drake, obviously you'd love to tie it up in the period, but if you can put at least one, hopefully two up and keep this one scoreless on the other side, it puts you in a great opportunity to at least tie this one up potentially in the third.
Yes,
and
for sure.
We saw a couple of games last year. Drake was down 5-0. I can't remember who the opponent was, but came back to tie it. They did end up losing in I believe that one went all the way to penalty shots.
Oh, man. Shootout.
But it was a great game all around. Drake scoring 5 unanswered. Came up a little bit short, but that's the type of game you want in a building program. As icing is called, it'll come back to Drake's defensive third. But, you're building your program up. Obviously, you want to win games, but that type of thing can be a turning point for your program.
And beating a ranked team even, I mean, in Nebraska, just being able to take them on and being able to have that play in your program is just incredible for the confidence in a program and a team.
And starting off this year, not afraid of some big opponents, as Kansas finished last year number 25 at the end of the season. So a program that may not be ranked, but did bring a lot of that talent back from last year's squad. And you can see that familiarity you mentioned before of, these guys look that they have played together for a number of years. And tough part playing here in Central Iowa, there's a lot of teams and not a lot of ice.
Yes. The ice in Iowa is one of the biggest things that's so hard. I coach goalies on the side, and just finding ice in Iowa, especially during your summer months, it is the dog days for a reason. Getting ice is just so hard. You have about 2 sheets right now that you're allowed to use, and both of them are here at RecFlex. And so it's tough. More sheets coming in the future, hopefully with Iowa. I'd love to see Drake getting a dedicated rink. That would be amazing, but I believe that is a little bit further in the future. But at the rate this club is growing, it might not be as far as we think.
This one goes off to the side. It'll be picked up over on the far side by Cannon. Good skating here in the middle as Huber puts another shot on. And this one is going to sneak in, and tough to see who got it from that angle. It might have been number 16, George Bullard.
And Carter doing a great job stopping the first. I think it was 3 shots on the goal there before that one snuck in. Lot of work in front of him, and he's doing great. Keeping his head up. He's got it.
Yeah. 4 goals allowed, not a great stat sheet, but then you look at the 30 shots on net, and we're not even halfway through the second period. It's the same thing we talked about. Cole Jackson, his first college game, he allowed 5 goals in a 5-0 loss for Drake, but he had 55 saves.
Number 9, Hudson Huber.
It really goes, you can give up 2 goals on 24 shots and have the exact same save percentage. As there's going to be another penalty here. Looks like Kinnick Sager headed back for this time it's Charles Brownell.
Going back home. Yeah, I got him with a slash, it looked like. Just gave him a little tap on the wrist, and they'll call it. Refs are calling a lot today, and I'd rather them call a lot than not enough. So cool seeing the refs calling something. It's been times where you get a little angry with them, but that's all right. It happens.
10:41 left in the second period, and it is another double penalty, as it looks like it is also Rowan Vaughn on the other side with a 2-minute penalty. I wonder if it's another one for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Another 4-on-4. Wow.
Third time we've seen that today, as this one I might even tip post. As Alta Crew is trying to give chase, but 3 defenders back. Good push from Sedons to get back and poke that one away. Counterattack chance here for Kansas. Sedons skating behind him was number 24, Feeney. We've seen that combo a couple times today. Alta Cruz Peterson behind him. Trying to dump it in the middle, looking for Fisher. DeCrow getting back into the defensive zone, trying to gain possession. Big check in front of the student section. And it looks like another penalty against Drake. Second time we'll have seen 4-on-3 today as Dylan Fisher. Two of the veterans of this program, both in the penalty box. Couldn't quite see from this angle of what the hit was, but it is enough to draw the whistle.
It's a hard hit against the bench. Those ones are pretty hard to call as a ref because you can see it, and it usually looks a lot worse because you're hitting about halfway on the body over that bench. Got him for interference on it. Dylan does lay some pretty heavy hits whenever he hits somebody. Great guy. Plays in New York for the Paralympic team.
Penalty number 6, Dylan Fisher, 2 minutes for interference.
Good block by Osgood. Sent it to the net. Gave the team some time.
We've definitely been seeing that depth on display for Drake as well, as we've seen basically every single player on the roster in this one. Substitution as Aguilar will come in with Peterson heading back to the bench. Every time I hear Parker Peterson's name, I think it's a reverse Spider-Man. Sidons feeds it to the near side for Nessa. Nessa back to Sidons. Poked away as Drake trying to keep this a 4-0 game. Nessa will take it back into the neutral zone. Here's Sidons into the offensive zone. 3 defenders keeping their eyes on him. Good pass back. Shot put on. Deflected away.
Good glove there by Osgood.
Roberts was looking for another opportunity. Got the start tonight at defenseman. Sidon's looking to turn the corner. Skates around one defender, but can't get it through the stick there. As defensively back in was Matt Garcia. By coming out as the double penalty coming to an end here in the next 3 seconds. 8:45 left in the second period. As a better shot opportunity there for Feeney would have been a wide open net. As it was a great pass, but Feeney just couldn't handle it. Came off the stick of Roberts, the alternate captain. Talking during intermission, they were playing Mr. Brightside, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this song is older than all of these college students.
Probably. Yeah, we got some young guns out here.
It's definitely older than at least half the team. That song's got to be 20 years old at this point. Puck is going to be brought down. Sadaka's getting a pass into the middle to Huber.
It's like we have a had a little run-in with the ref, so they took a ref timeout here for him to come out. Took one to the leg by a player, got knocked into. Looks like he got his knee pretty good. Take a minute here for him.
Yeah. We'll take a break ourselves and be right back. You're watching Drake Hockey here on Pardon My French Media. Back in action after referee appears to be all right. Took a big hit on the near side.
Looking a bit timid out there when the players get close to him.
Another goal scored here by Kansas as Bullard gets his second of the period. As Drake's offense struggling to get going since coming out of that first intermission.
One thing to keep an eye out for, and I'm excited to see if they're going to make this adjustment. You can see the defense in our D zone. So when they're down, the puck is on our side. Our defense is playing up high, if you've noticed. And I would love to see if we're going to pull our defense down or how that kind of is going to work out.
Yes, so for number 16.
Bullard got a great setup as Huber got the assist over to him, and Bullard gets his second goal of the evening, and both of them coming here in the second period. 7:20 left in the second as Peterson loses his stick in the process. Fisher into the offensive zone. Wellington trying to set himself up for a deflection. Goes rocketing off the top of the goal. Fisher from point blank range, another save. 30th save of the game for Drake's goalkeeper, as Osgood has been fantastic tonight. This one up and out of play.
Osgood keeping his head on his shoulders. That's great. After seeing this many shots, you look at the score and you just kind of want to beat yourself up. But then you really think about it. I mean, 31 saves is just incredible in the second period.
Seen a lot of games that Drake has faced 60, 70, even 80 plus shots in a game. And that is one of the things. Drake's, I think, biggest depth this year is their goalkeeping. Obviously, you have some great scorers coming from this freshman class, as well as bringing back arguably 3 of your top 4 scorers from last year. But, man, when you've got Osgood out there as your, returning vet, but then you also throw in a second year of Cole Jackson, who was one of the biggest parts of this team last year. Multiple games with over 50 plus saves, including 2 games with over 80. And then you also bring in Brody Madigan, a 3-time state champion with the Bogie Mammoths. You have a lot of depth in net this year. And none of them older than a junior, so you'll have at least one more year of that entire trio.
Shout out Drake's goalie scouts. Wow.
As Kansas looking for a push here, under 6 minutes left in the second period. Looking for a one-timer opportunity in front, knocked away from Wellington. As it was Breyer trying to set that one up. Sadakis gets possession of it, dumped down forward by, I'm not going to try, Ignatichev. I apologize if I have, hockey I think has the worst names, but also the best names. Ignatichev? I don't know. We'll figure it out later. So I do apologize if I've gotten any of the names wrong. Didn't get a chance this evening to talk with coaching staff to get correct pronunciations, but you know what? This Kansas team is a hell of a squad. As Drake will bring a full line in, not something we could say much last year. It really just is impressive. Like, I don't think a lot of opposing fans realize how huge it is with, obviously 9 freshmen. When you're playing that many freshmen, that's a sign that you did not have a big squad the year before. This team graduated, I want to say 4 seniors last year, bringing in 9 freshmen, all of which we've seen 8 of them tonight, and probably will see Brody Madigan several times here at home this year with the 3 goalie rotation. I'd expect we'll probably see Cole Jackson tomorrow, as this one is frozen in front. 4:51 left here in the second period. Drake just 2 shots on goal here in the second.
Kansas just keeping that great pressure that they every time we've played them, they're just known for it. That attack pressure, once they get in the O zone, they do not let up. Passing is great. It's crisp through Kansas. Incredible to watch. Poetry in motion.
Henderson losing possession of the puck coming into the offensive zone. 4:40 left before intermission. Drake playing forward a little bit further this time with Sir Royce as well up in the scrum in the far corner. Has no whistle this time. Drake just looking for a good offensive possession. What a pass. Cedons dumps this one off. And Drake recovery. Carter Osgood, another huge play in net, but is slow to get up. There's going to be a timeout on the ice. We will take one as well. Well, he looks looked at. We'll take a short break. Carter Osgood back up and in net. There was a second penalty called as Aiden Henderson serving that. It was a tripping call against the goalkeeper Osgood. So a power play chance for Kansas once again. And this one flipped on. Another great shot this time from the alternate captain, Zach Roberts. Makes it 6-0 here on their 40th shot on goal of the evening. .345 left here in the second period. Third goal of the period. Two of them came for Bullard, and this one for Roberts. Sixth goal of the game. It is a second power play goal they have had as well. Pass goes over to Cannon. This one knocked down. Peterson gets possession of it. Takes it over for Brownell. Looking to get some offense going here with under 3.5 left before intermission. As this one's stolen away, Elb's leading the charge. Pulls it back out. Didn't like the numbers. Try to reset it a little bit here. Cedons takes it behind net. Pass comes all the way back out for Cannon. Pass from Nessa to the far side. Back to Cannon up top. Good passing back and forth. Both teams at full strength with under 3 left. As Drake trying to bring their defense up a little bit here and guard that back line. As the Crow able to fight off a defender, gain possession of the puck. Dumped off here for Peterson. Over to Brownell. The Vets getting after it a little bit now. Backhand! A great deep move leads to the Brownell goal. The crowd losing it here in front of us.
Charles has some of the nastiest moves I have ever seen in hockey. He does that during practice. He can do it with his eyes closed. An incredible hockey player, a Des Moines native, great family built around him. Amazing guy, one of the nicest people I've ever seen and met and had the, just the pleasure to talk to. Great kid.
The native of Clive, Iowa, playing here in front of the home crowd, a senior this year, and gets a big goal to get Drake on the board. 2.5 left here before second intermission. As Drake coming alive a little bit. Alta Cruz was trying to set it up for Brownell again, but pass it right into the net. .213 left on the clock as Drake's offense applying some pressure here, and they will blow the whistle for a penalty.
Looked like tripping.
Drake has spent a lot of time in the penalty box today. As looks like it'll be Brownell headed back.
Brownell does play his heart out when he's out there, and sometimes it just bites back. So
2:08 left here in the period. So the Jayhawks on another power play. Drake will be back at full strength before the end of the period. A good clearance here. Wolver trying to come up, apply some pressure down ice. As Wolver trying to get that poke away from behind. Garcia trying to poke it away by, and Garcia back defensively. A great defensive pairing there. You have the veteran in by along with the sophomore and Matt Garcia, who got a lot of playing time last year, have nothing but great things to say about what we saw from here last year as a freshman. A guy that got a lot of confidence as the year went on and turned into one of the best defensive players on this team. Osgood, another stop, able to get back to his feet. Good little pop up there for him. And another delayed penalty. Clock stops with 1:11 remaining in the game. 1:03 on the first penalty.
a cross check there as the call. So that's an interesting call. I didn't see anything. I was too busy watching Carter do the full splits, and I had my full attention. So as a fellow goalie, I mean, that's just incredible to see such a young man do that. So great.
Vaughn does go to the penalty box for 2 minutes before cross-checking.
Back to another 4-on-4. Great practice for Drake to do these 4-on-4s, do these penalty kills. I mean, it's been a lot today, so it's really exciting to see this.
For some of these vets, 4-on-4, that was just a practice scrimmage.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure when you could get 4-on-4s going during practice.
Down to about a minute left here in the second period. Drake putting their first goal of the game up. Charles Brownell from Parker Peterson. Looking for a counterattack here as Drake was looking for a whistle. Puck brought down by Breyer. Controlled, brought back into the neutral zone by Feeney. Feeney into the offensive zone to his left is Sidakis. It will come over to get it in the near side corner. About an 8-second difference between the penalty that was called against Brownell as well as the clock, as that one got post but did not sneak in.
Tight angle shot right there. Incredible you can even get it to the net. I don't know how skaters do it, man.
As a goalie, I'm sure you wish that they did it a lot less, though.
Preach, brother.
Drake back at full strength. A great stop there as Peterson went down to the ice to get the stop. Brownell can't get a counterattack, but Drake will have a power play chance with 48 seconds on the power play at the start of the third period. We will break for the second intermission and come back here. Drake finally getting on the board, but 3 more put up by Kansas in the second period. It is 6-1 as we head to intermission. 6-1 as we begin play here in the third period, which for Drake, not an ideal score, but the crowd erupting with Charles Brownell's goal. And what a move he put on Olsen to get that one to go. As the puck brought down here by Alta Cruz with the two teams flipping after the second intermission. 3 goals in the first period for Kansas, as it was scored by Vaughn, Krugel, and Huber. Second period, they got 2 goals up on the board from Bullard, and then a third scored on a power play chance by Roberts before a big shot from Charles Brownell to get Drake on the board for the first time, as he was set up perfectly by Parker Peterson. And now an opportunity just to try and finish strong for both these teams in this game before they meet up again tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see how Drake comes back tomorrow and sees what happens. And just putting this out there, you see all these guys bumping each other around. It looks like they're talking smack a lot of the time, but off ice, you talk a lot of the teams, especially the Kansas guys. I remember when we played them, talked to some of the boys after we played. Really nice guys. Everyone's out here just for the love of the game.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're not necessarily on scholarship. You're playing for fun. You're playing because you love hockey.
Yeah, nobody here is getting an NIL deal.
Be a lot cooler if they were, though.
No. I would have to get my doctorate.
But hey, if you do want to sponsor, reach out to us at pardonmyfrenchmedia@gmail.com. Obviously, that advertising works considering you are here, as looks like another goal put up by Kansas, making it 7-1 here in the third period. A 30 shot on goal differential in this one. Drake, their first goal coming in the second by Charles Brownell on their 14th shot. That one, their 44th on the other side for Kansas.
Looked like that one was scored by Rowan Vaughn. Awesome last name. That's a hockey brand, Vaughn. Makes some really good pads. I'm more of a Bauer guy, but love their goalie gear.
As Vaughn does get credit on the goal, it is his second of the day. Had the first one back in the first period. A lot of time we have seen it when it gets to a 6 goal, we do get a running clock. So we'll see if that ends up being the case today. A 7-1 lead for Kansas. Puck comes to the near side. Willington getting over to it. As that one fired on. Don't know if it got tipped. Either way, another quick goal. Looked like that one from Luke Nessa. And what a wrist shot on that one.
That thing had some heat on it. Drake getting caught really bad on their heels here right now at the start of this first. Kansas has come out swinging, and Drake is not able to recover from that. You can see Kansas is really good at getting that puck at the top 2 defensemen, just passing it back and forth, getting someone in front of Carter Arsgood, and catching Drake on their back heels, getting sucked in, and not being able to stop that back and forth pass between those defensemen.
And number 6, Nick Willington.
(8-1) our score with 17.5 minutes left in the contest. As Osgood able to snag that one. Off the face-off, puck goes back here for Breyer. Drake looking for a counterattack opportunity. Breyer laying full out. Sager could not get after going between the legs of the defenseman. .1709 left on the clock. 16:35 remaining here in the game. 8-1 the score. Kansas playing a great game offensively here on the road. As Peterson makes a nice move, but can't get through the two defenders. They're going to call, I believe, a tripping penalty here.
That's definitely a tripping. You're going to get Carter back, and you're getting an extra man out for Drake. And there's the call.
As play stopped, Aguilar had just come into the fray, but Drake will get a power play opportunity.
It's a good take there by Parker, taking that tripping. Me personally, when I skate out in beer league, I try not to fall, but I usually fall on my own. These guys, it takes some force to get them off their skates, so it's cool to, see these guys getting these penalties called. A lot of penalties this game.
So a penalty for roughing called against Kansas. So Drake a power play chance as they look to take advantage here. A great clearance here and also trying to get down ice is Feeney. Brownell into the offensive zone. The lone goal scored for Drake here today. Another clearance with 1:15 on the power play. Here's Peterson. The offensive zone. Good poke check away. That play made by Roberts. One of the reasons he's one of these team captains. Roberts a goal in this one. He has been outstanding on the defensive end as well. Puck getting away in the offensive zone. DeCrow unable to get over to it. 45 seconds on the power play. About 15 minutes remaining here in the contest. Drake looking for one final push to see if they can get an attack chance here. Peterson trying to dump it off. Goes back to Alta Cruz. Fires it in. A nice snag by Olsen.
Good glove there.
And we do have a running clock here with a 7-goal advantage for Kansas. As more than likely, most of this power play will tick off before the puck is dropped again. Under 14 and a half minutes remaining. Comes back out off the deflection as Kansas back at full strength. Drake got a couple of shots off during the power play, but nothing to show for it. Counterattack back the other way. Backhander up and in. It is a hat trick today for Rowan Vaughn, his third of the evening, second of the period. So Royce, that penalty that was issued to the goalie finally expiring here for Drake. 13 and a half minutes left, 9-1 our score as Vaughn gets his third of the game. Vaughn working it up the far side, gets it over to Huber, who also has a goal today. Puck deflected away by Schellenberger. Pass comes over. Nice move made in the offensive zone. Controlled by Norman. Schellenberger gets it off of the boards for Aguilar. Shot goes around, and Schellenberger working to keep it in the zone. Looking to get it ahead for Norman. Nessa getting the assist on that last goal as well. As this one flipped up, and another goal scored, making it 10-1, this time for number 28. As that is Nick Callahan. Crowd standing behind their Bulldogs here, though, even with a big score differential up on the scoreboard. As Drake looking to apply some more pressure.
Kansas still scored over 28 and Callahan was assisted.
The last goal was unassisted by Callahan.
Rick getting some nice ozone time finally here. A lot that we didn't see in that second period. A lot of pressure from Kansas. Hoping as this year goes on, we want the boys to see a lot more of a system get put in place. Kind of looks like everybody's skating everywhere on Drake. Hopefully Blue can get it together a little bit more and get a nice system going. And that just comes with time. Before practice is in, like what you were saying earlier, I mean, it's just something that comes with time, right? You just get a system going, the boys start rolling, it starts meshing, and it looks good.
And we do have a new number out there on the ice, number 33. Wondering if someone had to change jerseys, as 33 was not listed on the roster put in by Coach Henderson. So just trying to figure out, because I'm wondering if it's been a while, I think, since we've seen Everett Bridgman, number 23. Wondering if there might have been a jersey swap there due to like a tear on the jersey or anything. But we'll figure that out and let you guys know when we have an idea ourselves. Face-off one here by Kansas, approaching 10 minutes left here in the game. And a big hit on the far side. Brownell pins it up against the boards. Playing against Shrew. Alta Cruz kicks it out of the zone with 10:15 on the clock.
Good hit there by Ian. Or no, that was Charles again. Charles is your microwave man. He gets heated up. Everybody else starts heating up with him.
Puck comes on the near side. Peterson flying down the left side of the ice. Dump back for Brownell. Brownell losing his footing, but able to get the pass off. Can't keep it in the zone, though. And we've just been informed 33, Brody Madigan is skating out today. Coach Henderson did say he does have the ability to both be in net and serve as an extra skater. Madigan, a three-time state champion for the Bogie Mammoths. As puck frozen with 9:15 remaining in the contest. So first time we've seen Madigan in the game. Expect we will probably see him later this year in net, as it'll likely be Cole Jackson, the sophomore, tomorrow in the second half of this series. The shot deflected up and out of play from Wolver. Under 8:45 remaining here, Kansas up 10-1. They've had a monster third period with 4 goals in the first 10 minutes of the contest in this third. This one fired down ice, and it will be frozen this time by Osgood.
Ozzy taking his 49th shot on goal. I think we might just hit 50 today.
Drake able to get it out of the zone as we hit 8 minutes left before the conclusion of this one. Reminder, game 2 of this series takes place 9:30 tomorrow morning. So hoping to see some Drake fans here. I say bright and early, but that's fairly good sleep-in time for maybe not college kids, but
so your college boys, they ain't getting to bed till like 2 a.m.
Another 30 seconds gone with 7:30 left on the clock. As Drake still showing some aggressiveness here late in the game. Sidon's trying to lay that one off, and they're going to have a penalty here. And it looks like that is going to be an ejection as well. Aiden McGee sent off the ice.
I hate to say it, but at some point it is a lack of discipline. that you get ejected from a game, be it keeping your head on your shoulders. These are young men. They put their heart and soul into the game. It's nice to see that they still do care, right? Sometimes it gets out of hand, but sometimes it's best to know what battle you're gonna lose. And you'll never win against a ref in hockey, so
many a coach has tried.
yes, sir. It's a story that keeps getting written. So I'm interested to see what they're going to give him here. If they're going to give him a 5, usually an ejection leads to a 5-minute, maybe even a 10-minute penalty sometimes. My guess is they might just eject him, make him serve a 2, and just kind of get this one over with, as can't really do much here other than write it in the books.
And it looks like it will just be a 2-minute penalty, as Aiden McGee was sent off officially.
They ended up just giving him a 2-minute.
Penalty number 16, will go a 2 minutes for high stick and 10-minute misconduct. For game misconduct for 2-minute penalties.
So he gets a game misconduct for too many penalties, a 10-minute for a game misconduct, and 2 minutes for a high stick. So he will only serve the 2 minutes this game. He did go ahead and go to the locker room because he did get ejected. So I believe that means that tomorrow he will not play, if I remember the rules correctly, in Matcha.
You would definitely know better than I would.
I believe Matcha rules do state that, and that is your Mid-American College Hockey Club Association. We just call it Matcha for fun.
So another power play chance here with 6:15 remaining in the game, a minute left on the penalty for Drake. Peterson trying to get to the puck here on the near side. As this one put on by Huber, deflected off the backboards. Puck moved back around to Nessa. He'll fire another one on. Got a goal earlier here in the period. Under 30 seconds left on the penalty kill for Drake. 5.5 left in the contest. As that is the 4th goal scored by Vaughn in this one. What a game for him. 3rd of this period alone. Clock ticks under 5 minutes left. That is the 50th shot on goal here today for Kansas. As the Jayhawks coming in and showing why they were a ranked team last year.
Kansas
is looking really good this year. I mean, if this is what they look like normally, and they're only going to get better with time, so it's great to see that these young men are really pushing the limits already.
And we knew that there could be a rough start here for Drake early in the season. We've talked about it a couple times that, there's 9 freshmen that have been brought onto this team. You only have maybe a handful of returners from last year, 2 of which are your goalies. So you got a lot of new skaters that you're incorporating into this system. You basically brought in a brand new roster.
Yeah, when you bring in almost 2 new full lines, making it 3 full lines for your complete club team, it is hard to figure out how is this dynamic going to work? What's the identity of our offense going to be? What's the identity of our team and club going to be? And that always comes with time, and the team will only grow bigger. And all the great thing is 9 of these young men are freshmen. So imagine, a year or 2 from now when they've played so many games together, 20 some games this year, next year, however many more that Drake's going to schedule, they will be a great young core.
And, you look up and down this roster, there's 3 seniors and 1 graduate student on this team, 2 juniors. So you have 5 total upperclassmen, or excuse me, 6 total upperclassmen on a roster of 21. Because you've got Parker, Charles, and Ian that are all seniors. Then you have Dylan and Carter, who are both juniors, and then Davis, who is a grad student. You brought back 3 sophomores who, they're only 21 games or so into their college careers. And again, this is a very young team. You've got over half of your roster are within their first 25 career college games. So there's a lot to learn for this group still moving forward, but there's a lot to like about this team. There's a lot of heart, a lot of tenacity, and some great upperclassmen to learn from. For guys especially, I really am excited to see guys like Kinnick Sager and Bladen Wolver, just 2 guys that I got to watch grow in the Des Moines League for several years, and now get to see them here for their hometown team. I think those were 2 really great pickups for Coach Henderson.
Yeah, it's awesome to see. They bring in 9 people this year. I can only imagine as this club grows, how many more people that are going to come in next year. When I first started with Drake, we had barely 10 guys out there on the ice. Shout out to Griff Dyka for, setting this whole club up, getting this whole thing going again, reviving the name and accepting everybody with open arms and really setting the tone for the club and giving it the foundation that it has been built upon.
Osgood with a nice snag. Yeah, you consider you guys had maybe 10 players at times the first couple of years, and now they just brought in 8 skaters and a goalie. That was your guys' line for some of those games.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. I remember the biggest thing was when we played Creighton. I think we had 2 guys on the bench, and that was the first game I ever skated out in hockey, period. And all it took was 1 hit for me to know that goalie was my position.
This is why I want to stay in the net.
Yep.
They can't touch me.
Exactly. I'd have my guys protect me out there, all my defensemen. Shout out to anyone who plays defense in hockey. You guys are a godsend to the goalies.
A nice snag by Olsen as we hit a minute left. A good wrister coming in from Garcia. Has a couple comments from Griff Dyka, it looks like.
Yeah, we have Griff Dyka and Jimmy Fiashi. 2 bigwigs out there in the chat. Shout out you guys for being in the alums.
Had a couple comments from them as well as Paxton Reading. Always great to see alums coming back. White here among them as well. As we're under 25 seconds remaining in this one. Reminder, game starts at 9:30 puck drop here from Able Ice Arena for game 2 of this weekend series.
You put it on with your morning coffee, Beautiful Sunday morning.
And definitely a long schedule ahead for Drake. This is just the first game of, I think we said 22 scheduled this year by Coach Henderson and the Bulldogs. As a final score, 11-1. It is the home opener for Drake. Not a great finish, but a lot to like from what you've seen from some of your young guys. And Osgood, again, he allowed 11 goals, but had 40 saves.
Incredible work by Osgood as usual. Goalie's always seeing the shots here at Drake. It's amazing to see the boys back in town. Amazing to see just that crowd. I mean, a sea of blue out there. It's awesome to see. Kansas put on an amazing show today. Great club. Amazing sportsmanship between the 2 teams. As much as they hit each other and can talk trash during the game, after the game, you shake hands. You might go hang out with the guys after the game.
And an opportunity to try and get some of those goals back tomorrow. 9:30 puck drop. Charles Brownell, the lone goal scorer in this one for Drake. 11 scored on the other side, including 4 from Rowan Vaughn. A huge performance for him to start out this season for the Jayhawks. But I like to love for this program as they move forward. Expect to see potentially Cole Jackson in net tomorrow. It'll be him or Brody Madigan. Did get to see our first look at Madigan skating out as well a little bit today. But it is a young season for a young club. And there might be days like this, but there's also a lot of good to come for this program. Ryan, any final thoughts before we wrap this one up?
I think it's awesome to see these young kids come out here and play. you can really see the love of the game out of Drake's hockey club and just everyone who's in it. The alums are happy to say that they played for this team. You know, all these young men have college, they have lives outside of this. They do this for free. It's for the love of the game. I'm so excited to see how this club grows. And I really hope that in the future, you know, a few things that I see that I think could be worked on. I'd love to see a system out here for offense, a system for defense. These young guys have never played together. Giving them something to work on as a foundation, I think would be great for Coach Henderson and Rudin to work on. And I'm so excited to see it tomorrow morning.
Reminder, puck drop 9:30 tomorrow morning. We'll be right back here at Able Ice Arena for the second half of the doubleheader between Drake and Kansas. But in the meantime, for my broadcast partner, Wyatt Madsen, our camera operators, both Mick Mulhern as well as Gary French, I'm Tyler French signing off here on Pardon My French Media. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.